So first of all, well done for coming up with a superb company name and logo. I think that's the hardest part to start with. And that is a prime example of what trademark protection is used for.
Hi, welcome to Let's Talk Pure Ideas. We are very excited to bring you our very first podcast session. Do you have a brilliant idea or innovation and just don't know how to go about protecting it or indeed commercialising it? We are Katy, Sam and Danny, the inside voices of Pure Ideas. We are an intellectual property company based in Warwickshire, but with clients worldwide. Our team boasts nearly 100 years of combined experience in the IP field, and we pride ourselves on our approachable, friendly and no-nonsense style. Throughout our podcasts, Let's Talk Pure Ideas, we will be tackling lots of different aspects of protecting ideas, brands, and innovations. We will look at everything from how to select your IP firm to discussing how best to protect your innovations and ideas and ultimately commercialising them. First things first, let's have some introductions. Danny, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi everyone, I'm Danny. I'm a paralegal in the trademarks and designs team here at Pure Ideas. So we take care of all things to do with filings and prosecutions. I specifically look after everything to do with trademarks and designs, from filing all the way through to getting your shiny registration certificate, including clearance searches, filing applications, examination reports, office actions and oppositions for trademarks and designs.
Thanks, Danny. And Sam?
I'm Sam. I'm a patent attorney and have been for quite a long time. I work in a variety of sectors, from pure engineering right through to computer-implemented inventions and other things that look a bit like excluded subject matter. I've got experience in private practice and in industry, having worked for a global telecommunications provider for a few years. And of late, I am the senior managing attorney here at Pure Ideas. My practice is mostly patents. I do a bit of design work, some advisory work as well, and have found myself, before the EPO, doing all proceedings for clients too. I'm going to hand you over to Katy now.
Hello, I'm Katy Douglas. I'm the Commercial Director of Pure Ideas. So I'm responsible for not only looking after the growth and development of our business, but also, very importantly, staying connected to our clients and getting to know what they need or want out of the relationship with us. We know that every client is unique, so we try to tailor our approach to meet those needs wherever we can and develop a deeper understanding. This way, we can give the best advice possible. So, to get things moving, let's talk about protecting your ideas. So let's suppose you have a great idea and you want to know if there might be a way to protect it and stop others from copying it. What should you, or more importantly, should you not do? Sam, we get asked about this a lot. Have you got any pearls of wisdom for us?
Okay, so what we always advise here is get in touch with your chosen IP specialist soon, early in the process, and make sure you don't tell anybody else about it before you've spoken to your IP professional. One of the things that we find most helpful is if people come to talk to us sort of during the early parts of development, and when their innovation, idea, brand, whatever it is that they're looking to protect is being sort of developed and built on, and we can then advise across the whole spectrum right from the beginning. So we talk about how you might seek to protect the different parts of it early, making sure that you aren't going to shoot yourself in the foot by accidentally broadcasting to the world what your new idea might be, or choosing a brand that stands in somebody else's way, or are doing something that somebody else has been doing for years, and you inadvertently perhaps haven't realised. So, for example, to take a patent example, you might come to us with this great idea you've had, and then we might talk to you a bit about it. We would talk to you a bit about it, and then we talk to you about how we might look to see if somebody else has done it, to see whether you might be able to get protection for it by way of a patent, whether it might not be patentable and it might be something that would benefit from design registration, or I'm sure Danny will mention in a moment that how we might protect the brand, and to help you make sure that you're taking the correct steps along the way. And the correct step isn't always file a patent application or file a design registration. It might be keep it secret and don't tell anybody about it, if it's software, for example. So we try to look at all aspects of it early on to give you a sort of clear understanding of what you might need to do to protect your new idea.
Thanks very much, Sam. That was really interesting. Danny, what can you add to that on the protection of the brand side of things?
So like Sam said, I would definitely always seek the advice of an IP company, as we would be able to best help and advise you about what specific type of protection is best for you and your idea. For example, a patent and a trademark and a design protection, or a combination of all, may be best for your brand and your idea. We can always help you to set up an initial meeting to talk about your ideas and your brand, and we can give you an idea on what protection you'll be looking at, and on expected timeframes and the outcomes of protection, as well as costs and things like that, so you know what to expect in regards to intellectual property and moving forward to best protect your ideas.
So thank you for that, Danny. That's really interesting. So if you came up with a really superb company name or logo, would you know if you could use that name, and more importantly, how you could protect it from being used by others?
So first of all, well done for coming up with a superb company name and logo. I think that's the hardest part to start with. And that is a prime example of what trademark protection is used for. And the more distinctive the company name and the logo, the better. So first of all, we conduct some checks, and we can do a trademark clearance search to see if the name, the company name and the logo you are looking at is free for use and for registration. This essentially involves checking the relevant trademark office to see if there are any other applications or existing earlier marks that might be problematic. And then if this search comes up clear, we can then apply for a trademark protection for your company name or for your logo. And this protection would then deter others from using an identical or a confusing similar company name or logo. And then in the future, if there's any unauthorized use by a third party or any problematic applications that come up which infringe your company name or your logo, for example, if a third party is using an identical or a confusingly similar mark, we can then use your registered protection, so your trademark, to challenge or oppose their use and get them to stop using it.
It sounds like there's a lot to think about, Danny. I think we'll have to come back to this in a future podcast.
Definitely.
So, Sam, we want to help SMEs and innovators. What sort of things should they be thinking about?
So we think the best thing to do is get people in for a meeting, or in these modern times, get them in for a meeting on Teams or Zoom. We do a lot of virtual meetings. And what we really want to do during those meetings is get to understand the client, you, their business, your business, what it is that you're trying to achieve, what makes you tick, what's important, what's not important, what's really key to the thing you've come up with, the way in which you might protect it, and trying to tie the whole thing in with your business values effectively. So we're looking to make sure that whatever it is your innovation is protected appropriately and in a way that will potentially maximize the business revenue for you. So, we talk about lots of different strategies with people. Sometimes we come in with people who are in the early stages of innovation. They're looking for investment, and we're looking at ways of perhaps trying to build the early stages of an IP portfolio, which they can use to build investment. Sometimes someone's come up with a cracking idea and they want to capitalize on that. So file a patent application and all the associated stuff with that. Sometimes we're looking at ways of stopping somebody else taking it there and then. So someone's come up with something and they're worried that, okay, if I go to market with this, someone will come try and take this straight away. And so during these meetings, we're aiming to sort of get an understanding of what it is you're doing, get under the skin of the business or the organisation, and try and develop an IP strategy that fits together with your goals and aims.
So I guess the other side of things is, if you're already the proud owner of some IP protection, Sam, what can Pure Ideas do to help in that particular instance?
So on that side of things, if you already have a patent, for example, or a trademark, we have a renewals department whose job it is to make sure that the annuities are paid and make sure they're done in a timely and cost-effective fashion. If you're a bit earlier in the process and you've got a European patent, for example, that hasn't yet granted. We can deal with the grant formalities and validations. We have a specific department for that. And then there are other bits and pieces we do too. General formalities, so assignments and registrations and transfers and all that kind of thing. And generally sort of all the bits and pieces that need to be done to keep IP, registered IP in good standing.
Thank you, Sam. I think that's given a really lovely overview of how Pure Ideas can help you. We have really loved sharing some snippets of information with you today about the world of intellectual property, and we hope that it's given you some food for thought. Please do feel that you can ask us questions because we'd really like to be able to help anybody. In future sessions, we plan to have podcasts on specific topics, and we do hope that you'll join us then. Thank you.
The information given in this podcast is intended as guidance and to serve as a starting point. If you want to find out more about how we can help you or about IP in general, please feel free to contact us.